I am back with episode 2 of Building for Brick World Chicago 2026, so let's get right into it. To start this week, I finished making all of the custom clone troopers that I have at least. So I've got 10 of these phase 2 clones with the one whitish bluish gray and that one like aqua blue color. A couple of them have some accessories, like 2 of them have these black macros. Then there is another like captain type trooper, and then a couple gunners, and then also have one heavy trooper. So these guys will look pretty cool in the build, definitely unique. And I've got 10 of them plus the 2 name troopers. And now I'm gonna start working on some of this filler brick and just building up to that median, like this height here that we all need to kind of meet at. So I've placed the first layer of filler brick, and as you can see, I've made sure to keep everything separated so I can separate all of these plates. Can't really do it one-handed, but we have the border and then we have the first layer of filler brick. Over here, I have the height that it all needs to be. So it's one of these, like I said last time, it's one of these like 1x2 by 5 plate snot bricks, which I put the tiles on, and then 3 bricks and then a plate and a tile. So it's really also just like 5 bricks and a tile, if I did that correctly. So what I'm gonna do is take some 1x plates and put them all along here in that medium nougat color. So this way, when I raise it up another brick, it will all be perfectly aligned. So I placed some medium nougat plates, and I just used a bunch of these 1x5 plates, which I'd gotten from a pick-a-brick wall. And I reached my first issue. That being, as you can see, there's a slight gap, which, while it might not be a big deal, I'm not a fan of. And originally I was using these bricks, since I didn't want to use all of these. But I had to replace them. So I'm gonna go back in and put bricks in between there to kind of support this and hide the gap as best as possible. So I've been working on the filler brick, and you would think it would probably be pretty easy, and for the most part it is. However, I reached my first major issue. So our height for this build is essentially 5 bricks and a tile. That means I have to place the tiles right on top, which makes it very difficult and requires me to then filler brick the entire thing. So my solution is, fortunately, I have a bunch of these, and I'm going to use them. I've got more than what's pictured, but I'm gonna use them for after the 4th layer of bricks. I'm gonna put it like this, a plate, and then another one to create that additional 5th brick, but it allows me to place all the tiles on like one giant plate, which would be much easier than a bunch of 2x4 bricks. So I've come up with a way to fix it, and my issue I'm going to do is take the base plates. I'm gonna remove like all of this because I realize it will no longer actually be beneficial. So instead I built up these little walls that go either side, and I just put like 2 of these plates, or like one of those plates, some other plates, and then these olive green ones here. And I'm gonna just do that like for each one, and it makes these plates so much lighter than it would be if it was like filled with filler brick all the way. I am gonna save these 2 for last, as they're a little more specialized, being the visible ones. But I'm gonna do these 4, and I will check back in once I've done that. So since that last clip, I've actually done a lot of progress and a lot of change. So let's start off. So I did finish all the plates before I came across a huge issue, and that was making sure everything was lined up. So it turns out the Technic brick is actually at this level, meaning I had to pretty much undo everything I had done. I raised the Technic brick, so I did 2 plates, a brick, and then Technic brick. And that is what I did specifically for these front 2 plates, which are modded because of the border, and this is where the nougat parts are actually gonna be. And every other plate, I just did a brick, 2 plates, and then Technic bricks for when needed. If not, I just did two, like a brick and then another brick. So it worked out in the end, and it's definitely like super light, which is awesome. And I just have Technic brick still on the inside to connect there. But it's definitely was a challenge to line it all up and figure it all out. But I'm glad I was able to. And for reference, with the height again, it lines up perfectly. So if I steal a tile from this and put on here, you'll see, yeah, lines up perfectly, which is great. So I've pretty much done everything I can now. I just need to order the remainder Nuke bricks and tiles so I can actually start working on the terrain and everything. But that will do it for this episode. So thank you guys for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed.